Hey, Scott. Good afternoon. Guten afternoon. Hey, y'all. Just wanted to jump in with a quick video. I had to mesh everything in one. So I had to mesh everything in one today for this video. And yeah, I have to have surgery, but I put it in there because it's not like life and death. We'll start with that. But yeah, I have a deviated septum, so I guess that's why I've had breathing issues. But I had that before on one nostril. They gave me surgery. I guess the other nostril is acting up, so no big deal. But I have to go in, so I'll be doing pre-recorded videos. I'm waiting to get scheduled, so it's no big deal. But I wanted to let you guys know if I was missing. When it rains, it pours. It's just I'll be down for a little bit. Hello, Tracy. If you don't stop with these palm trees. Tracy is hilarious. These palm trees, when they did the presentation, and you guys, we're going to have a great discussion. I got a video the other day, and I got all my people together. Like my people that, we love history, not like we're not a group. I'm individual. Everyone's individual. But we want to discuss this history. And it was about how they trick you out your land, basically. And I want to talk about that because this is what gets me in trouble. So every time I say anything about Dolton, you get the trolls over here. Oh, why, going off like they don't even live here, know nothing about here. Fine. But it's something that we have to talk about when it comes to the community. We're sitting in there and letting someone give you a presentation with palm trees. Okay. Okay. In Chicago. On the south side of Chicago, right? And I'm going to say this, and I'll leave it to somebody else to pick up. What block was Tiffany getting evicted off of? It's public knowledge. What block was her and Kamal getting evicted off of? Y'all let me know. I don't be trying to do this like I'm the smartest person or to come up with conspiracy theories. Tell me where Tiffany and Kamal were getting evicted from. And then go back to that presentation and what address did they say they were from? Just, and y'all get mad when I'm saying just asking, but I have to ask because I know. But unless you hear it come out your mouth, you may not know. So we spent, 8 months on the eviction from this certain address? Just putting it out there. It's great to learn this kind of history. So yeah, I'm totally fine. Hit the like button if you're here and help us reach our $19.99 goal. My mentor got on me.
Like, you're not telling people to, because I'm a small channel. I don't make money on YouTube, like a lot of big YouTubers, and especially not being popular, talking about Tiffany Henyard the way other people picked up and talked about Tiffany Henyard. But I noticed nobody wanted to pick up that Pope story, huh? Interesting. It's so funny when you see and some of the larger content creators call me up and say, sorry, I didn't have my glasses on, so I'll try and put that in the chat. So help us meet our $19.99 goal. Cash App Burgundy Blue okay? Cash App Burgundy Blue And yes, I have a $19.99 goal, and it's totally voluntary. You don't have to do anything. And anybody got a problem with it, kiss my grits. Okay. So it's something to think about, that because it's not a new administration. People keep saying it's a new administration. Even me, sometimes I slip up and say that. It's not a new administration. It's everybody's just been shuffled. And it's been people saying that. I can credit for sure Trina and Mama Hill, who has been saying, y'all, Shell card, 3-card, Monty, the same people. Everyone's shuffling around. So it's not a new, and they said clean house, and they brought Riley Rogers back. Not only did they bring Riley Rogers back, but they brought Riley Rogers back in a zoning committee. And what is Riley Rogers known for? Real estate. Okay. So they brought him back. Jason brought him back. Our mayor, Jason House, brings Riley Rogers back. And he wasn't even on his ticket. He ran with Tiffany. So everybody that's in the public that cares about Dolton and stands with this and stands with that, why do you have no outrage? You have nothing to say. You're not questioning anything. It's A-okay. So now they told this man that owns the Pope House, we don't care what you got. We're going to take your house to eminent domain. And that was the words. And anybody else bidding for the house, guess what? We're going to take it. That was the words. Now, it could have been a strategy, I don't know, just to get people not to bid on the house. But we were told the Archdiocese of Chicago was going to jump in and save the day because they agree this is a historical site. Now, I want you guys to realize the Pope had 3 other addresses in the Southland. 3 other addresses in the Southland. And they're focusing on this one house. Okay. I want to play this. Hey, Choose, how you outraged already? You just got... Y'all, somebody get Choose some coffee. She must have not had her coffee this morning. Oh my goodness. Outrage and just got here. Hit the like button while you it did seem like it. And but this, you know what, Channel 2 had something for, because I'm gonna be honest, it was one thing. We will never know how the Tiffany Henyard saga will end until it ends. And that's just what it is. It has to end. Like, when are the feds coming? Who are they coming for? What's going to happen, right? So we won't know until it ends, because Tiffany, she's skipping up and down Sibley like it's not a care in the world. You know what I mean? Now everybody right now, believe it or not, everybody in Dolton as friendly as can be. Everybody's friendly, except for when it comes to Burg, because they're like, this heifer need to shut up. That's the main thing. And it's one person, someone, they always get a leak. I have to say this publicly because this is true. They always get a leak. And someone sent me some information the other day. And I was just like, wow. And it's always this one person that's picking on me. Like, this one person, she has it out for me so bad. We got to get this heifer. But she ain't saying heifer. She's saying the B word. And I'm like, all I'm doing is saying my opinion like everybody else. But as long as I was saying the opinion of Tiffany stole, Tiffany bad, y'all good, it was fine. I'm just saying my opinion. And isn't it the freedom freedom is not always free. I forgot about that part. Okay. I forgot about that part. And Choose did not have her coffee. Hit the like button, consider subscribing, and we have a $19.99 goal to meet. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go on over to y'all. CBS was not playing. Let's go.
The fight for ownership of the Pope's childhood home raises questions of legality. The owner has signaled that he plans to sell it at auction, but the mayor of Dolton says they will buy it or take it by eminent domain.
That's when the government takes private property for public use without the owner's consent, but does pay the owner a fair amount. Our Sarah Maki is looking into this.
Not open to the public, there is immense interest in what happens next to Pope Leo XIV's childhood home in Dolton.
They're bringing groceries, flowers, we light candles.
Neighbor Danya Sanye Davis has erected a cross outside her own home. Gregorian chants belting from a speaker in her window. A playlist she found on YouTube.
I've seen a lot of people from Greece, people from Italy. One woman came and she prayed, touched the door of the Pope's house, and she said she wanted to be healed.
I spoke to the home's owner the day that the Pope was named. He said he learned about it from his agent while he was at a doctor's appointment with his pregnant wife. Polish and Catholic, he sees...
Y'all, I had to pause this because Sarah Maki had no time for Dolton. Listen to when she say his pregnant wife. Just let's listen.
Home's owner the day that the Pope was named. He said he learned about it from his agent while he was at a doctor's appointment with his pregnant wife. Polish and Catholic, he sees this as a blessing for his growing family. We were the first to take you inside the home, newly renovated, but now a piece of history. The mayor of cash-strapped Dolton telling us this week they plan to acquire it, either by direct purchase or through eminent domain powers.
Now, I just want to pause this once again. This is the media, and you guys believe the media, right? Because we've been believing the media for a year. This is the media. They said the mayor of cash-strapped Dolton. You guys hear it? This is not Burgundy saying this. This is the media. The mayor of cash-strapped Dolton is taking a house from this man and his pregnant wife. Okay. Just want y'all to hear that for yourself. We took ice cream from the seniors in Thornton, but this time we taking a house from a man and his pregnant wife.
I spoke to the home's owner the day that the Pope was named. He said he learned about it from his agent while he was at a doctor's appointment with his pregnant wife. Polish and Catholic, he sees this as a blessing for his growing family. We were the first to take you inside the home, newly renovated, but now a piece of history. The mayor of...
Wait a minute. I have to pause this. I'm sorry we can't get through this art. Y'all blame Scott for this one. Scott said, and to the right, this is the wall where the Pope Daddy mounted his plasma TV back in 1956. And this is the wall where the Pope had baptisms in a marble shower. I want to add to that. Scott. He bathed in this marble shower with the black fixtures. Yeah. Thanks. Scott is hilarious. It's nothing in this house like Pope Leo's. It's nothing like in this house near where I live because everything is fresh and new. It's nothing old. You know what I mean? Some of our fixtures we have from way back in the day. If it wasn't broke, we didn't fix it. But this is new. It's nothing. I don't even think that door was new. The man said nothing but the walls was in there. It's nothing that Pope Leo cares about, remembers, or wants to know about that house. Okay. It's gutted. Yes. And they did a great job. And I think that's why a lot of people are passionate about it because This house was sitting there for how long? And y'all didn't care when the weeds was growing up the side of the house and the wall. Nobody cared, right? When the neighbors had to see that eyesore. And then this man came and bought it, you know? And when he bought it, he fixed it up and then put it on the market. Now we're going to take it. Okay. But Sarah Maki ain't playing. Listen to her. I'm not going to stop it again as long as Scott behaves. Okay, let's go.
I've seen a lot of people from Greece, people from Italy. One woman came and she prayed, touched the door of the Pope's house, and she said she wanted to be healed.
I spoke to the home's owner the day that the Pope was named. He said he learned about it from his agent while he was at a doctor's appointment with his pregnant wife. Polish and Catholic, he sees this as a blessing for his growing family. We were the first to take you inside the home, newly renovated, but now a piece of history. The mayor of cash-strapped Dolton telling us this week they plan to acquire it, either by direct purchase or through eminent domain powers.
We consistently say we want to make sure that we're partnering with the Archdiocese to honor it in the right way.
But that plan, intersecting taxpayer funds and a religious organization, is raising concerns, not limited to just the First Amendment separation of church and state.
We have statutory problems dealing with eminent domain, and it has to be used for a public purpose, not for private or for religious reasons. There's a lot of obstacles in this, and I think down the road, there's going to be a lot of legal issues.
The Archdiocese of Chicago telling us they appreciate the outreach from the village of Dolton and our preliminary discussions regarding the former Prevost family home. At this time, the Archdiocese does not have a plan in place concerning the property. On this day, a group of Polish priests working in Chicago come by,
Father and Son and Holy Spirit.
Amen, leading a prayer over this home and its community.
I feel like God has come to Dolton.
From Dolton, Sarah Maki, CBS News, Chicago.
Okay, I have to say something. First of all, where that microphone come from? Y'all, I do have a video coming out. Like I said, the young lady, she sings, and the husband, I think he preaches, and then the son will come out and like do some lyrics. So as the guests in the news and people are passing by. But for you guys listening, where's the outrage that they have 2 police cars out there? 2 police cars. And you're absolutely right, Tracy. It was an article that said after the Prevost family left, it was a drug dealing home. I do not know anything about that, but you are absolutely right. The article said after they left, it was home to some dealers, right? So what is it still holy? Is it still holy? I'm just wondering. Y'all let me know in the comments. If you know the real Nino Brown was in there serving, is it still holy now? Is it? Just asking. What is Choose talking about? Man, okay, so every time I go by there, she has a fur coat on. She's fully dressed for the occasion. For sure. Yeah, she's fully dressed. Like she's like, if the news is, I'm not mad. If the news is coming, baby, I'm gonna be ready. You gotta put on your red dress, right? Man, the church told Dolton, you're on your own stealing property. They sure did. The Archdiocese said, get me out the group chat. I want nothing to do with this. And yeah, y'all can have that. We're not touching that. This man, and sometimes being here, let me think about this before I say this. Sometimes being here, I like to say, I'm trying to think of how I want to say it. I'm going to say it just the way I want to say it. It's sometimes reverse racism. So now, like some of the white people I do know here, they're bullied. You know what I mean? Because they're the minority. You sort of see that with Ryan, right? When Ryan, these people grabbed Ryan by the neck, okay, and pulled him up out of the Harvey meeting. And they just looked. They just was like, oh, Wasn't no outrage. They grabbed this man by the neck and dragged him out the meeting. So you guys who are over here, you kind of see how it's kind of like a different view. You know what I mean? So this man, he's Polish, I think. He's white. Yeah, we're gonna take your house. Boom. What you gonna do about it? But now he has the Archdiocese on his side. So I don't think Dolton's gonna get the house now. The Archdiocese is like, no, don't throw our name in there. You know, am I a person that loves history? Absolutely. It's nothing in the house that's remotely like where the Pope lived. Nothing. They spent all their money. Is it a big deal the Pope came to Dolton? Yeah, absolutely. He came from Dolton. I think that's amazing. What is the plan with the house? You guys have not told us the plan. And this goes back to how you guys were telling us Tiffany was running things. Where's the plan? So we're going to get the house, and what? How much is the weekly maintenance on it? Will we have to pay as taxpayer the lights, the gas? Are people going to be able to enter the house? Are we going to have a fence around the house? The maintenance of the home, is it going to be an ordinance where no one can live in the home, including trustees or the mayor? Like, y'all just can't turn around and say we're going to live there since we own it. We need to have things in order. You know? The Archdiocese is like, this house is actually a former synagogue. We ain't got nothing to do with yeah, it's so weird. The Archdiocese was like, look, but the way our girl said, his pregnant wife, I was like, oh, look, Choose had a great question. Would he have become Pope if he stayed there? Right. Hey, Jazzy, my love. Already some poor judgment from the mayor. First, Andrew appointment, and now the eminent domain. Yeah, and you know what's so weird? I think sometimes they throw it out to see how you guys will react. You know what I mean? Because it has been, if you will, a mentality to, I don't want to say the word brainwash, but just to get you in that group mob mentality where everyone has to agree with the same thing. And if you don't agree, you're attacked. And I've been noticing people are saying that to me now, like, man, if I don't get, yeah, you're attacked. We've been saying that for a year. Just because you don't go with the flow, you're attacked. Full on attacked, embarrassed, tiki torch. That's what they want, because they want you to stop even having a independent thought for yourself. And that's really scary. It's just really scary, y'all. Oh yeah, a pregnant wife, Jazzy. A pregnant wife. So a newborn, they're taking the house from a newborn baby. Like, please don't let the baby be a preemie, because they're taking the house from a preemie, okay? So yeah, and my question is that people get upset when I say this. What we're going to do with the house? Dolton has closed every Catholic church, right? When we had chaplains, I do not know if the second minister was of Catholic faith. I would like to know, but Pastor Fleshman is not. Did we appoint Catholic ministers? We don't have Catholic schools in Dolton. So who was the connection to the Archdiocese? Because the Archdiocese said no. They said, take us on out the group chat. Okay. We don't want anything to do with, we have nothing to do as it relates to credit cards. Take us out the group chat. Hey, Gardis. Oh, that's a good question. I'm wondering if the owners of the house will be at the next meeting. That would be great. Weird fact. There's a beautiful church in Atlanta that was the former mansion of the Grand Dragon of the KKK. Always felt weird there before learning the history of the building. Isn't that something? Because, I mean, we're just going to skip over. Okay, so he was born there, right? So Prevost was born there, and then he left. But he also he did his cardinal studies, I guess I would say, in Homewood. He lived in Homewood, Illinois. I don't see the Homewood mayor on the news saying, yeah, this is the former closest he was to being His Holiness the Pope. The closest he was Homewood before he went to, where was it, Peru, and he traveled and went to Rome and all of that stuff. His closest home to being the holiest man on earth was Homewood. Are they acting a fool? No. Are they taking a house from the people that live at his house in Homewood? You can look it up. The Pope lived there. The only reason I'll put it up here is because people actually live there, and it's not a huge news story, and I don't want people to be running there. But yeah, you can look it up. The closest he was to being His Holiness the Pope was Homewood, Illinois. Nobody's acting up over there. Said we're just gonna take your house. Sending letters. How would this house benefit Dolton? All I'm asking. How will we benefit from this? That's all. And if you ask that question, it's a problem, because you know why? They don't want to answer it, because they don't know. They want the house, and they probably will sell the house too. We had a historical society building in Dolton. Y'all, it's boarded up, windows busted up. We have the house that the first mayor of Dolton had, which is on King Drive. We call it Chicago Road still sometimes. Busted up, tore up. One of the first business in Dolton. Busted up, turned up, toe up. Nothing. Okay. So now we said, oh, we're going to get this house and we're going to take care of it. No, we're not. Y'all wasn't taking care of it before, so that's what it is. Let's go to the next story. Oh, that's what we had this discussion. Tracy said, I wonder if the new owner of St. Mary's is wondering if he's next. We had that discussion. I wonder too. They don't realize the qualifications they'd have to go through just to get the certification to meet the standards of a federally registered historical site. Yeah, and then they said we go to court for. Sorry, y'all, my stomach growling. They said this could be a lengthy court process. So who wins again, you guys? Who wins again? The lawyers. Why do they feel we need to get this house? Do I think it's historical and amazing that the Pope is not only from the United States, not only from from Illinois, but then came from Dolton? Yes. But what's the plan? They have already shown they don't care about Dolton history, right? That house that showed the community the condition of their houses. Yeah. It was so weird. Like, if you go down that, okay, so if we care so much, what are we going to do with some of those houses that their windows are still busted out? It's a house on the corner, weeds everywhere, windows busted out. We have company. Hello, Dolton, we have company. So don't we want to clean up some of those houses over there? The whole block, which is not Dolton, across the street is Riverdale. We got company, Riverdale. Don't you want to figure out how to clean up those businesses across the street? It's a mess. I'm going to play this one more time and we're going to get to the next story. But this was very interesting to see this lady from CBS. She was like, his pregnant. She was like, no, we're not having that.
A fight for ownership of the Pope's childhood home raises questions of legality. The owner has signaled that he plans to sell it at auction, but the mayor of Dolton says they will buy it or take it by eminent domain.
That's when the government takes private property for public use without the owner's consent, but does pay the owner a fair amount. Our Sarah Maki is looking into this.
Not open to the public, there is immense interest in what happens next to Pope Leo XIV's childhood home in Dolton.
They're bringing groceries, flowers, we light candles.
Neighbor Danya Sanye Davis has erected a cross outside her own home. Gregorian chants belting from a speaker in her window. A playlist she found on YouTube.
I've seen a lot of people from Greece, people from Italy. One woman came and she prayed, touched the door of the Pope's house, and she said she wanted to be healed.
I spoke to the home's owner the day that the Pope was named. He said he learned about it from his agent while he was at a doctor's appointment with his pregnant wife. Polish and Catholic, he sees this as a blessing for his growing family. We were the first to take you inside the home, newly renovated, but now a piece of history. The mayor of cash-strapped Dolton telling us this week they plan to acquire it, either by direct purchase or through eminent domain powers.
We consistently say we want to make sure that we're partnering with the Archdiocese to honor it in the right way.
But that plan, intersecting taxpayer funds and a religious organization, is raising concerns, not limited to just the First Amendment separation of church and state.
We have statutory problems dealing with eminent domain, and it has to be used for a public purpose, not for private or for religious reasons. There's a lot of obstacles in this, and I think down the road, there's going to be a lot of legal issues.
The Archdiocese of Chicago telling us they appreciate the outreach from the village of Dolton and our preliminary discussions regarding the former Prevost family home. At this time, the Archdiocese does not have a plan in place concerning the property. On this day, a group of Polish priests working in Chicago come by,
Father and Son and Holy Spirit.
Amen.
leading a prayer over this home and its community.
I feel like God has come to Dolton.
From Dolton, Sarah Maki, CBS News, Chicago.
Okay, and you heard the Archdiocese say no. I want to show you guys something because Jazzy is so right about, is it idolatry? Idolizing something. I was in a town, and this is what happened. These people own their own homes, right? And look at what they did. You guys, whoever said that in the chat, I forgot, but this is what they did. They plaqued the homes. So these people own the homes and they plaqued the homes. They put a plaque on front. So I'm walking down this historical street and I didn't know what was going on. And every house would have a name, the year it was built, and a plaque of the family name on their house. But of course, those people are not living anymore or living there anymore. And the people still own their home. So I thought that was really a classy way to do it. But like this young lady, she's getting a plaque of the home. And I guess it was Woodstock's Andrew House plaqued. And that comes from the Historical Society and its Historic Sites Committees. They gathered on September 29th for plaquing of historic Dan and Lorena Andrew House. And that's the address. And they said it was the home's uniqueness and pedigree, which prompted he and his wife, Cindy, to buy it in December of 2000. And it's another house that had a plaque. I don't know if it still does, but Mahalia Jackson, they plaqued her house. They didn't take it. The city at that time, I don't know if that changed, but took it by eminent domain at that time. They plaqued her house. Emmett Till, Mamie Till, their house now is covered. Who else? Someone Gardis Watts introduced us to. Chairman Fred Hampton, right? Has his father's house. So this is very important. So what if one of the Prevost brothers, because it's not just the Pope's house, what if one of the Prevost brothers wanted to purchase and put a bid in for their family home? Why do we have the right to take it? And if we do take it, what is the benefits for us having it since we are cash strapped. So thanks for that, whoever put that in there. Thank you. We go to St. Patrick's, Wyoming. God has came to Dolton. This is my opinion. The Pope is still a man of flesh. Okay. I think I'm not gonna get into all that. Like that whole statement. Be it as it may. Okay, let's go to the next subject I want to talk about, which is my favorite show, 90 Day Fiance. Okay, I haven't talked about this in a while because I don't know if y'all watch 90 Day Fiance. Put a 1 in the chat. I've been covering Dolton, but I can just talk about first. Let's just end it here first because I'm about to be long-winded.
Can I be recognized, Mayor?
You want to be long-winded? I'm just asking.
And before I do that, do we have a right to just be making Why is Brittany in front of the Pope's home? She's a trustee. Put a plaque on this man's house and let them people sell the house the way they want to. Put a plaque on it. Make it a historical site. Name the street after that man. And call it a day. Come on, y'all. It's the right thing to do. Okay. So 90 Day Fiance. Okay, so if y'all watch 90 Day Fiance, let me know. Y'all, it's so weird here in Dolton. It's so weird here in Dolton. I can't even go to the next subject because Gardis is right. He said they have historical homes in Beverly neighborhood well over 100 years old, and they have signs recognizing their historical significance, but they still have private owners. You're absolutely right. It's even what's the famous guy, Frank Lloyd, or is that the Back to the Future guy? You know, the guy that did the houses here, and Frank Lloyd, right? The guy that did the houses here in Chicago, California. I think he had one New York home. Even hit people who buy on the west side of Chicago his homes. It's a historical site. They don't just say we're going to take the Frank Lloyd right, which I would love to just live a week in those homes. I love architecture. I worked for a school of architecture, and I loved it. But to see those homes, people still live in those homes, and yes, they know it's a historical site. So weird people like me pass by and take photos and want to take a picture in front of it, but it's just a plaque. It's just a street. It's just an area. It's a tour. It's even signs that tour you and take you to these homes. Where's the Dolton Historical Society? Just asking. Because everybody got their panties in a bunch, including me, about this situation. Where's the Historical Society? Where? Which reminds me, I have to call Mama Hill. Me and Mama Hill got to meet up. It's beautiful. Okay, Chu said yes. Tiffany Henry is my modern day Claudette Colvin. I love y'all, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what? I don't think this is gonna age well. I think that people are gonna start waking up. That doesn't mean you have to be a Tiffany supporter. You're just gonna start looking and say, now what? Now wait 1 minute. Y'all told me we was broke. Y'all told me we was not in the business of real estate. Now we got pluggers on our cars with Brittany Norwood on it. Make it make sense. Y'all told me we had an image ordinance, Thornton Township, but I'm just saying we had an issue with people faces being over everything. Now everybody faces on everything. People are gonna start waking up. Okay, yes, for sure. Okay, so 90 Day Fiance, you guys, I'm sorry you have to be, look, it's in there with the Pope house. But Juan, so I'm gonna do a separate video, but you guys email me like, would you please talk about Juan? Juan life was stolen, okay? And I don't mean physically. So if you guys didn't know, this lady right here, I'm sorry, she's with the Pope house. Let me go to one. The Pope don't believe in what they doing, y'all. So on 90 Day Fiance, this lady right here, she met this man on a cruise. And if you don't know what 90 Day Fiance is, it's when you meet somebody, but they don't live in the country, and you have 90 days to get a K-1 visa so they can stay in the country, but y'all, you know, you're in love, right? So it's always the argument of if they are there for a green card or not. So this lady, she lives in Wyoming, but like in a this is the thing about 90 Day Fiance. When they meet the people, it's not like, it would be like me meeting somebody and then they live in another country and I bring them here to Dolton. It's miserable. You know what I mean? They really have dreams of the big city of America. I'm going to Times Square. I'm going to the Chicago Bean. Not they're going to come here to Dolton and go to Maxwell Street Polish. You know what I mean? So this lady right here, she lives in Wyoming, but like in a country part of Wyoming where the biggest attraction is tilting cows, right? She says that, like going to the, you know, and it smells like cow poop all the time. It's really cute. And she had 2 boys, 2 young boys. So just above toddler age. So like 6 and maybe 9. And one of them is really, really active. Like he's something else. He's a handful. And she has these 2 boys. And she goes on a cruise with her best friend and she hooks up with this guy, Juan, right? And Juan is younger, he's single, and he's a bartender on a cruise. They have a fling, and she gets pregnant. I'm like, how? So she gets pregnant and he lives in another country. So she has to go. Where does Juan live? Where is Juan from? Brazil? Hold on, guys. Let me find out. Where is he from? He's from Cali, Colombia. Okay. So he's from Cali, Colombia. And she is like, oh, I'm pregnant, you know. So, you know, for him to come here, he has to be the stepfather to the 2 babies, right? So he has to leave his life, be a stepfather, right? And then now she wants him to quit his job on a cruise ship because she's scared he will hook up with other girls. And I just don't get it because you hooked up with him. So yeah, he's going to do that. You know what I mean? And so she's making him be a total. Oh, thanks, Wyoming. She's from Torrington, Wyoming. I have family there. I was just at Torrington. Lots of cows for sure. Yeah, I think it's cute though. And the babies are so used to it. But she stole his life. Like now, so he feels like he can only make money if he goes on a cruise. And she's like, no, you can't go on a cruise. And I'm like, you took this young boy, you know, to me. That's to me. He's his worst fear because his dad died, and he said the worst time of his life was good before his dad left, and afterward they struggled for forever, and he never wants to leave his baby because he doesn't want that kind of situation, right? So she knows that fear, but I just feel like it's too much of a responsibility that she's pushing on Juan to raise the boys to who are they're very active. Also, she brings him home to Wyoming, and the bathroom, it's no doors on none of the rooms, right? So they have no privacy. The bathrooms they have to go through the little boys' room to use the bathroom and the closet. And Juan has no privacy. So now he's just like, I'm gonna go on a cruise to make some money. And she's like, if you go on a cruise, you're gonna lose me. But to me, she was really saying you're gonna lose the baby. Like she's gonna take his son away, the child away. So y'all let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to review 90 Day Fiance. I will. But this kind of upset me. Like, I've been watching the season. I just haven't been able to report on it because I've been talking about Dolton. But this man, this was baby mama drama. And it's so funny because I'm in like this group, and they were saying on TikTok, they were saying how, people think baby mamas are only like black women, like you only gonna have that. Like, no, she has multiple baby daddies, okay? And she's kind of hanging this baby over his head. And to me, I think Juan loves her for sure, but I think she's gonna pressure him out of this whole relationship because she wants too much for him too quickly. She just wants too much for him. She's not the sharpest axe in the shed. Yeah, I agree. It's something about her, Tracy. I don't know what it is, but it's like even her relationship, since you're watching, her best friend, to me, she doesn't even like her best friend. She doesn't even like her. The best friend went on a trip with them, and she babysitted the boys, and I think she was jealous of how the best friend even spoke to Juan or anything. She don't want Juan. Juan definitely loves her and wants to be a family, but she's going to push him right out. If, we're seeing this a year later, if she hasn't already. So you guys, there's so many things I want to talk about, but I'm going to end it there. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you want to hear more of the 90 Day Fiance stories, because I could talk about 90 Day Fiance forever. But, I don't know about, I haven't been to Brazil, but he's in Cali, Colombia. He's in Colombia. Now, Colombia is beautiful, for sure. So I don't know, but he needs privacy. Juan needs to be the man of the house. I know that's so sexist. I can't believe I said that, but you know what I mean. He needs to be the man of the house. And he needs not to feel like she has him on a string. It's just like Juan could go home, but if he goes home, it's y'all, I'm just gonna say it. I won't go say she trapped him. Y'all, she trapped him. He trapped himself. They should have used protection, birth control, whatever. She got pregnant for sure. Like, she knew what she was doing. Like, that's my opinion. And he needs to put whatever he needs to put on, and she should have had what she had, but she wanted to get pregnant by Juan. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think. I wonder how the ex feels though. I don't think they're in their lives at all, right? Do they both? Do they both got the same dad? I can't remember. I have to research that. But I wonder how the ex feels, because she's a full-time mom. She's full-time. Then she's working, and Juan needs to get on that boat. But I can get it. How you get them is how you lose them, right? So if you were on that boat, right, and you hooked up with a bartender a random night, he got to understand she probably think he gonna hook up with somebody else, but you can't watch somebody 24/7. unless you get an air tag. No, I'm just joking. Hey, y'all. You guys, I'm going to go out of here. Enjoy your day. I'm about to try to hook up with Mama Hill today. I have a lot of running around to do and just trying to be my best self today. So you guys take care of yourself and each other, and let me know if you want more 90 Day Fiance. Okay? Bye.
Commentary, Blue Commentary, Burgundy Commentary.